lot to look forward to with the new season, so we thought we would task you, Nige, with picking the predictions, ranking the standings from 1 through 20. Let's have a look, shall we, and start with the three that you've got in the relegation zone. Who are you going for?
Well, it's a very unfair task, I must say, Poppy, because a lot can change from now till the transfer window closes. But from what I've seen so far, I've done and taken that tough task to hand. I've gone with Burnley, Sunderland and Brentford to probably be relegated from the Premier League this season. I think Burnley, it's a tough task, really and truly. The problem with the Premier League is, yes, you have to be defensively solid, but you also have to have a counter-punch. You have to score goals and really go out there and be adventurous. They've lost Josh Brownhill, who was their star player in the Championship. I think 18 goals he scored then. They haven't got him no longer in the team. And they haven't really made a lot of recruitments when it comes to attacking sense and goal-scoring ability. So I'm a bit worried for them about getting goals. It's good to be defensively solid, yes, but you still need to score goals and win going games at home. So I think it's going to be a tough task for them. Sunderland, for me, are a team that's in there, but I do believe the fans could make a difference for them. Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, yes, Joe Bellingham's gone to Dortmund, but they brought in the experience of Granit Xhaka coming in there, and they've got some real good young players. You talk about Mayenda and Isidore up top. If they play the same way that they did towards the back end of the season in the Championship to get promoted, in their 4-4-2, and give those two young men the ability to get forward and cause problems and play without no fear, with that youth and enthusiasm, and get a lot of results at home, that could be an advantage where the Sunderland fans can play their part in their team staying up. Brentford, a lot of changes there. Thomas Frank has left after 7 years at the club, gone now to Tottenham. Keith Andrews was the set-piece coach, who's now become the manager. And you talk about three key players. 46 goals is a combination between all three players in Mbeumo, Wissa and Norgard, who've gone to Arsenal, Manchester United, maybe Wissa, I think, to Newcastle potentially. That is a problem for me for Brentford. Goal scoring and replacing those amount of goals in a Premier League side is not something that's done overnight. Keith Andrews, first managerial stint as well. It's a big task for him, really, to do that.
So you've got two of the promoted, three going back down again, apart from Leeds United. Let's see where you've got them. This is a look at the bottom half of the table, who are in it in 16th place, and your beloved West Ham are also in there, 13.
Yeah, so let's start with Leeds. I think Leeds, we talk about Ellen Road and the football club and how historic it is, and Leeds generally should be a Premier League club year in, year out. I would say it's more so to the fan power that I think Leeds will get this done by. The fans are tired of being a yo-yo club going up and down. They know what's at stake. If they can turn Ellen Road to a fortress, it is a very intimidating place to go to. They've got to get behind the team, made a couple of good signings, and I think that Leeds will be able to do it. On average, they say you need, in the past 5 years, you need 9 wins and try and get to 37 points. You need at least 20 points at home. Leeds, for me, are one of those teams who can get those wins at home. And that's why I said Sunderland could be one team that gets out, because, again, the Stadium of Light, the fans are fantastic. But I think Leeds will be the one that survive. Fulham haven't really done too much in the transfer market at the moment, nor has Crystal Palace. And unfortunately, Crystal Palace will also have Europe to deal with this year. West Ham, for me, I think Graham Potter is still a work in progress. West Ham fans who are honest with themselves would say, just staying in the Premier League again this year is what we want to do. If we can get far in the League Cup, FA Cup, one of the domestic cups, it'll be a great season. But they're still in that rebuilding process of trying to get more players in. Midfield area is a key player that they really need to recruit at West Ham, and also a striker, a target man. But we know, I think Callum Wilson's also just gone to West Ham now most recently. But it's still a rebuilding process for them.
You've got Everton as well, 12th place. Let's have a look at the middle of the table on the top half side of things. You've got Nottingham Forest, just below Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United and Bournemouth. Wow, Manchester United, 9th place. Yes,
Manchester United, 9th place. Some people might disagree with that. It's still work in progress. Ruben Amorim's still rebuilding this Manchester United side in the identity that he wants to. Yes, we talk about some of the players that they've just recently got in there. Sesko now has signed. Cunha and Mbeumo is there also. So it's a great attacking front line. But my problem with Manchester United still is that back line. I still worry for that back three. I still feel that they're going to concede a few goals. I don't feel that they've got it down to an art of how Ruben Amorim wants to play. Defensively, they're still questionable. They're going to probably score more goals attacking-wise this season, but I still seen it being a tough season with the other teams that they're going to have to face and other teams been able to get a result off them. Tottenham Hotspurs still need to get some more bodies in the box. A big loss for them now is Maddison going down with a really terrible injury. So now what do they do in the market? You've got to talk about navigating Premier League competitiveness with also playing in the Champions League. I feel that Thomas Frank is the right manager, who's given a great opportunity. And as time goes on, that they'll get that right. And
no human Son as well. They start life without him. Let's go through then sixth through first place, starting with number 6. Who have you got? Do you remember? Da, da, da.
Newcastle United. Hasn't been a fantastic transfer window for them up till now. Yes, there's rumours of obviously losing Alexander Isak. Big part of their success last year, fantastic striker, but they have been linked with some other strikers to maybe come into that team, but the squad there for me is good. Fantastic team, fantastically coached by Eddie Howe. I expect them to still be very competitive, and it's more credit to Eddie Howe, the manager, in how he's really structured his team to go through the rest of the season. So I think the Newcastle will be that team who keeps that same consistency level, and also the new format of the Champions League will no longer put them in a group of death. Now it's a bigger group where they can play more teams, and I think it will work more in the favour of Newcastle this season. OK, coming in at number 5 is? You're going to be surprised.
So are you.
Aston Villa. I've gone for Aston Villa. Unai Emery, not a tremendous amount of changes there. Still managed to keep on to Ollie Watkins for now. I think he's going to be an integral part for Aston Villa again this season. Knows the Premier League, a proven Premier League goal scorer. Big part for Aston Villa this season. Morgan Rogers is still there. He's been linked to a few different teams. But Unai Emery and how he's built the team and what he does, you've got to give him credit. He is a top manager. And I expect them to be competitive again in the Europa League this year, while also competing in the Premier League. And a competition that I would say Aston Villa will probably win the Europa League this year.
Wow.
I'll put it out there.
Statement. OK, number 4 is?
Chelsea.
The Blues.
The big spenders, the big money, Chelsea, yes. People would say with all the money that they spent and the players that they bought in, Chelsea should be competing for a Premier League title. I would say Chelsea will make the Premier League title very competitive. They're the team that can throw a spanner in the works and get some results. Are they there now to be saying that they're competing alongside Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City? No, but they're very close. They've taken steps in the right direction. I think that Chelsea will be a very interesting team this year. Again, now the big question is, you talk about this young side and this project. It's competing in the Premier League and also competing in the Champions League. So that's going to be the interesting dynamic to see how this Chelsea side does, this young Chelsea side. But they're taking steps in the right direction, but still not quite there yet to be competing.
And they've done well in tournament formats, haven't they? Winning the Conference League, winning the Club World Cup this past summer in America as well. OK, so you've got Liverpool, Manchester City and Arsenal. Which one of those comes in at number 3?
Manchester City, Poppy. I think for me, Manchester City, this is probably the toughest time in Pep Guardiola's career as a manager. He's really rebuilding right now. I still don't feel that they're quite there. My real problem with Manchester City is defensively. I still worry for them. Yes, we know the players that they have, Ake, Stones and some really top-class players, but they're not playing at the same level as they were in the dominance that you've got to give credit for when it's due, when Manchester City were the top notch. I still feel that they're vulnerable at times. They overcompensate in going forward and leave themselves susceptible to the counter-attack. And there are many teams in this area right now who have great players that can counter-attack against you when you play that risky football. So I still feel worried for Manchester City that they will concede goals and concede games, and they're not quite there for me when it comes to competing for the top 2. OK, so that leaves Liverpool and Arsenal. And here is the order that you've got both of those in. And you've got the Premier League winners yet again to be Liverpool this season. Yes, it's quite interesting. Arsenal, we've criticised Mikel Arteta all last season about getting a striker, and finally now they have that striker. So this year for me, there is no excuse. When you look at Arsenal's squad, they've got strength in depth, they've got enough there to really compete for that Premier League right now. They have to push Liverpool to the end, or they have to win something. It's been a project for so many years. They've been taking steps forward, but now you need to take a step in through that door and win something. Liverpool, for me, are the one that is quite interesting. People are saying that they're the favourites, and I believe that they are the favourites. And it's not just because of the signings. I look at the signings as a statement, Because whenever we discuss and talk about football teams and clubs in the world, we say Manchester United, Real Madrid, biggest clubs in world football. Liverpool and Liverpool fans believe that they should be held in that conversation. Manchester United and Liverpool have won 20 domestic top flights in England, two of the most decorated clubs in the world. But people never mention Liverpool as one of the biggest clubs in world football. To their fans, they believe that they are. And I think when you look at the buys and the players, Florian Wirtz and maybe a link to Isak and the money that they're spending, they're making a statement to say, we are one of the biggest clubs in world football. We want to attract the best players in the world, just like once upon a time, Manchester United used to. Now this is Liverpool's era now. So I think there's an expectancy not just to win the Premier League, but also to win the Champions League.
Wow.
So with the signings that they've made, there is a statement that Liverpool are going to go for the Premier League and also this Champions League, to be mentioned in the same breath and continuously remembered as we are one of the biggest clubs in the world alongside Manchester United and the likes of Real Madrid.
Big expectations. Let's hear from Buckets and what he thinks about all of this.
My favorite future for the Premier League is a bit of a weird one here. Liverpool is currently sitting at plus 175 to win the league, and that's just not enough value for me, especially when you're putting money aside for 9 months. So I am taking Liverpool to win the league, and I'm also taking Arsenal to finish second in the league. Put those together, it's plus 500. Liverpool just made too much noise in the transfer period, picking up Hugo Ekitike and Florian Wirtz. Meanwhile, Arsenal finally have that decisive number 9 here. I think these two teams are going to run away with the Prem, but Liverpool should be able to finish top.
So he's going to parlay your top two then, Nigel.
Yeah.
You like the money?
I like it.
That was pretty good odds, actually.
It was very good odds. I like it, but I wouldn't say that Liverpool and Arsenal are going to run away with it. That's one thing. I think it's going to be a very competitive Premier League season, but I would still put Liverpool as the favourites and Arsenal just underneath them. But I don't think it's going to be a runaway or breakaway again.
OK, well, we've got much more to come for you. Opening weekend in the Premier League, not too far away now. It all gets started August 16th.